stars are brightly shining. It is the night of our dear Savior's birth. Long lay the world in sin and error pining, till light appeared and the soul felt its worth. A thrill of hope, the weary world rejoices, for yonder breaks a new and glorious morn. Fall on your knees, oh, hear the angel voices, oh, night divine, oh, night, the light was born, oh, night, oh, holy night, oh, night divine. Truly we're taught to love one another. The law is love and the gospel is peace. Chains shall we break, for the slave is our brother, and in his love all oppression shall cease. Sweet hymns of joy in grateful chorus raise we, let all within us praise the holy name. Fall on your knees, oh, hear the angel voices, oh, light divine, oh, night, the light was born, oh, night, oh, holy night, oh, night divine.
How glorious it is for us to come together today to celebrate our oneness, to celebrate this greater spiritual community of high holy beings. It has been heartwarming to hear the camaraderie, to see how excited each person is to see one another. For no matter what's going on in the world, we know that we are one people, that we are one connected in consciousness, and that spirit is always flowing in, through, and around us as love. And the more that we recognize that, we take it out during this holiday season of joy, of love, of sharing, and of oneness. Life is truly amazing and magnificent. It is so, and so it is.
So welcome to a simply mystical, magical evening of song and joy and inspiration and light. Welcome to Bring the Light, a simple New Thought Christmas Eve, with all 4 New Thought communities here in Las Cruces coming together in celebration. And even after the last carol, our evening continues with time to catch up with friends. So thank you all for being present as we light the Christ consciousness candle. and affirm the Christ light and love is in our hearts this evening and evermore. And now let's continue with the beautiful voice of Sergio Chavez.
Mary, did you know that your baby boy would one day walk on water? Mary, did you know that your baby boy would save our sons and daughters? Did you know that your baby boy has come to make you new? This child that you delivered will soon deliver you. Mary, did you know that your baby boy would give sight to a blind man? Mary, did you know that your baby boy would calm a storm with his hand? Did you know that your baby boy has walked where angels trod? When you kiss your little baby, you kiss the face of God. Oh, Mary, did you know? The blind will see, the deaf will hear, the dead will live again. The lame will leap, the dumb will speak, the praises of the Lamb. Mary, did you know that your baby boy is Lord of all creations? Mary, did you know that your baby boy would one day rule the nations? Did you know that your baby boy is heaven's perfect Lamb? This sleeping child you're holding is a great I am.
The reading that I selected is from the Gospel of John, chapter 1. In the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God, and the Word was God. All things were made through him, and without him was made nothing that has been made. In him was life, and the life was the light of men and women. And the light shines in the darkness, and the darkness grasped it not. There was a man who was sent from God, whose name was John. This man came as a witness concerning the light, that all might believe through him. He was not himself the light, but was to bear witness to the light. It was the true light that enlightens everyone who comes into the world. He was in the world, and the world was made through him, and the world knew him not. But to as many as received him, he gave them the power of becoming the sons and daughters of God. To those who believe in his name, who were born not of blood, nor of the will of the flesh, nor of the will of man, but of God. And the Word was made flesh and dwelt among us. And we saw his glory, full of grace and truth. John bore witness concerning him and cried, "This was he of whom I said, 'He who is to come after me has been set above me, because he was before me.' And of his fullness we have all received grace, for the law was given through Moses, but grace and truth came through Jesus Christ, who is the bosom of the Father and who revealed him." And so it is.
As the faith and hope candle have been lit, I will speak to faith and hope. So one of the themes of the Christmas story is that there was no room in the inn. So Joseph and Mary were shown to the stable, and Jesus was born in a manger. The significance of that is typically that Jesus was from humble beginnings. However, the truth is also that the Christ child could not be born in an inn that was full. Let's think about that for a moment. The light of the Christ consciousness cannot come and be born in a place that is full of other residents. That means there must be room in our consciousness for that light to enter. There must be an opening for the presence to enter. This is true of everything we are seeking or trying to attract into our life. If there is no room for it, where do we expect it to fit in? If we want love, we must make room in our hearts for love to enter. Spirit is waiting to express through us. We must make room for it. In New Thought, we talk about the law, or placing something in the law and knowing that it will be manifest. The law is impartial and operates independent of our opinion. However, if we want it to work on what we desire, we need to have faith, at least enough faith to use the affirmative prayer with a knowingness the law will do its part. Faith is a big part of Noah's favorite line, "Build it and they will come." Turning now to hope. Hope has two aspects, passive and active. The passive form is we sit and wait for something we hope for to happen, kind of like wishing. Hope or wishing is not a strategy for success. Some other synonyms of hope are anticipation, belief, faith, and desire. These words for hope provide encouragement or expectancy. The birth of Jesus the Christ brings encouragement and expectancy and is also a reminder that, as Jesus said, you too can do these things and greater, as your faith allows. So I want to read a short reading here. It was originally called Four Candles, and it was printed in the Legends Report, and I've modified it slightly, and I call it the Five Candles, a powerful story of hope. The 5 candles burned slowly. Their ambiance was so soft you could hear them speak. The first candle said, "I am peace, but these days nobody wants to keep me lit." The second candle said, then peace's flame slowly diminishes and goes out completely. The second candle said, "I am faith, but these days I am no longer indispensable." Then faith's flame slowly diminishes and goes out completely. Sadly, the third candle speaks, "I am love, and I haven't the strength to stay lit any longer. People put me aside and don't understand my importance. They even forget to love those who are nearest to them." Waiting no longer, love goes out completely. The fourth candle speaks, "I am joy, but no one seems joyful this year. They are all isolated in their homes and can't visit friends and family. Then joy's flame flickers and goes out too. Suddenly, a child enters the room and sees the 4 candles no longer burning. The child begins to cry. "Why are you not burning? You are supposed to stay lit till the end." Then the 5th candle speaks gently to the little child. "Don't be afraid, for I am hope, and while I burn, we can relight the other candles." With shining eyes, the child took the candle of hope and lit the other 4 candles. Never let the flame of hope go out in your life. With hope, no matter how bad things look, peace, faith, joy, and love can shine brightly in your lives. So during this season, no matter what our religion, culture, or background, there is reason to celebrate because we have faith. Faith that all good is enfolding us, all people, and the entire planet. We affirm and acknowledge that good is waiting to express itself through each of us, and we, in turn, are lifting the consciousness of the world. That faith needs the energy of expectancy we call hope. There is hope. There is reason to be joyful and loving because we know that love is our true nature. We are spiritual beings through whom the divine is expressing, and it is so good, and so it is. And now we have Mark, Klett, and Taylor Ray doing Ave Maria.
Beautiful. Prepare for meditation. Ignite and share the light. A meditation. In this moment, we center ourselves and acknowledge within us the highest vibrational light of the universe. Our acknowledgement reignites this living, loving, intelligent light, and it races into every cell of our body, through our every vibrational body, physical, mental, emotional, spiritual, etheric, and beyond us. We feel electricity coursing through us, unimpeded by misunderstanding, fear, and doubt. Indeed, this universal divine light washes away all of it: quick judgment, uncertainty, past hurts, and blocks to our future good, all replaced by this growing light and our reignited understanding. This reawakening quickens ancient knowledge within us. We intuitively and intentionally share this light through its many manifestations of love. Knowing with a renewed certainty this light of our loving universe pulses in and through every aspect of our beings, we direct it beyond the realities of our lives to those of others, in healing, peace, and love. We send these healing, peace, and love from our centers, faster than the speed of thought, to all peoples, creatures, plant and mineral life, oceans and atmospheres, knowing the divine light reignites their perfect healing, that vitality, peace, and love live therein. Our energy is recalibrated and renewed from and with this kind and compassionate universal light, living and present within us all. We recognize our light in the eyes and lives of others. Our recognition and affirmation of their light sings within us. We are light workers, players, singers, and wielders of light by whatever name vibrates in and through us and out as we put one foot in front of the other, walk, skip, run, and fly along our paths today and each and every day to come. So it is.
How do we bring the light? Can we agree that each of us has the light within? So how do we bring the light? Do you know someone who lights up a room just by walking into it? Some of us seem to bring light more by what we do. Perhaps we help the needy or encourage those who need encouragement. Our work may be how we bring our light. Most of us don't see the light in some people, and that's okay. Maybe the light is dim. Maybe our vision is poor. Most likely, we don't recognize their form of light. Without trying to fix them or change them, what is ours to do? Surely, we can know the light is there without seeing it. We live in a world of duality, and that creates certain scripts for our lives. What's your favorite movie with a hero? Did you think of one? What would that movie be like without the villain? Superman without Lex Luthor. Our life script is very likely to include others that play a necessary role that we might label as villain or without light. Life script implies fate. Hopefully, we all know we are co-creators of the script. Sometimes a change in script lets us see the light in others to help them see the light in themselves, and vice versa. Bring the light by constantly remembering the light is in everyone, including yourself. And so it is.
And so it is. So this topic of bring the light, I've been thinking about the light and meditating on the light. And this week started in a beautiful way, in a very special way, with the December 21st and the solstice. The solstice means a pause or a still point. And this year was particularly special and mystical, and reminded us, because it reminded us of the Star of Bethlehem, the Christmas star. So it reminded about the stories of the birth of the divine child. And people around the world were focusing on the light, focusing on this bright star, the two planets coming together in this great conjunction. So people all around the world of many different faiths and beliefs were all focusing on the light. And many were saying it was the rebirth, the renewal, a positive sign for good changes coming soon. I chose to experience it personally. So me in my car, and then it added a few more cars, 5 cars, halfway up the Organ Mountains. We all parked facing in a turnoff, facing the southwest, and we were focusing on the sky. I saw the sunset and it was beautiful, and kept that focus looking for the light to appear. So the focus was very much on waiting and watching and seeing that bright star in the heavens. So one message that was coming through to me very clearly this Christmas season, this Christmas tide, was focus on the light. And it came to me that it's the message of this year, and particularly right now in this moment. Last Sunday, I was blessed to be able to hear Mary Magdalena talking about the solstice and quoting the poet Robert Browning. He said, "A man's reach should exceed his grasp, or what's a heaven for?" And this brought to me an image. It was, if we're reaching beyond our grasp, it's like reaching and going that little bit further. And the image was maybe like rock climbing, where you're reaching up for that next handhold and it's not quite there, and so you have to stretch even further. So I was reflecting on both Browning and then this image, and we know that the kingdom of heaven is within. And I also had this impression that we need to keep reaching higher for the light. We need to go in deeper within to ignite that light within, that light of the divine consciousness within. So reaching higher, going further, going deeper than ever before, focusing on the light. focusing on that spiritual light and igniting the light of the Christ consciousness within. Just as in the Christmas Carol, Ebenezer Scrooge, he was totally transformed by the spirits of Christmas. And so are we when we open up to that. In the story, his heart was opened and he was forever transformed, forever changed. And in Dickens, Ebenezer Scrooge said, "I will honor Christmas in my heart and try to keep it all year." And so that's very much an affirmation of honoring the Christ consciousness in my heart this day, keeping and choosing the love and the light throughout the year. In Matthew 5, verses 14 to 16, it reads, "You are the light of the world, and the light placed in a high place shines out to everyone. Let your light shine before others." And that brings to mind this concept of reigniting the light in ourselves and that reigniting the light in others. This Christmas tide, this renewal of the Christ consciousness, reigniting the light, reigniting the divine in each of us, and reaching beyond what we think we are capable of in terms of connecting and maintaining that connection with the light. And I love what St. Francis of Assisi said, talking about things that seem difficult or maybe even impossible. He wrote, "Start by doing what's necessary, then do what's possible, and suddenly you're doing what's impossible." So reach higher for that light, reach deeper for that light, go beyond what we think is possible in terms of our own selves so as we can become that radiant light, reignited, renewed, and radiating to others. So in closing, I just again read those words of now Myrtle Fillmore, who said, "The more we keep seeing God's love and abundance everywhere, the more we grow Christmas joys." So reach for the light, be the light, radiate the light, and grow the Christmas joys. And so it is. And next we have the beautiful voice of Max Contreras and Barry Shaw on the piano, and they are performing the song Christmas Tide, otherwise known as Jessie's Carol. Thank you.
Green and silver, red and gold, and a story born of old. Truth and love and hope abide this Christmas tide, this Christmas tide. Holly, ivy, mistletoe, and the gently falling snow. Truth and love and hope abide this Christmas tide, this Christmas tide. From a simple ox's stall came the greatest gift of all. Truth and love and hope abide silver, red and gold, and a story born of old, peace and love and hope abide this Christmas tide, this Christmas tide.
My reading is a poem about love and about us. And the title is Because We Love. Because we love, we're born again. We love all life more passionately. We live our lives abundantly. We honor freedom with sheer joy. Because we love, we can believe. We believe in God, Almighty good. We believe in peace and joy and fun. We believe in us. Because we love, we dare to be all that we already are. We seek the good in everyone. We try and fail, but try again. Because we love, we become a child, open, frail, in wonder of it all. Love breaks our shell and sets us free. Because we love, we're born again, and again, and again. In dear hearts, we know that love is the healer, and that it heals everything. Whoever does not love does not know God, for God is love. 1 John 4:8. And may the joy of loving and being loved bless you all this coming year and throughout your whole life. Namaste.
Thank you so much, Geneva, with that beautiful reading. We're so grateful for the conversation of love. And the message that I shared this evening is the gift of love. The spirit of Christmas seems to make us all more cheerful, thoughtful, more giving, and more kind. But it's not only the spirit of Christmas, it's our spirit that is touched by the energy of Christmas. And that's the spirit that is the Christ-like love. A way to increase the Christmas spirit within us is to reach generously to those around us and give of ourselves. In fact, I'm sure you'll agree, even though you may have a list of things you'd like to receive, some of the best gifts are not material things, but they are when people provide you with the gift of listening, of showing kindness, of just remembering you and contacting you. It includes visiting, and perhaps not to our door, but perhaps through a Zoom meeting, giving time, and also forgiving. Sometimes it's these small and simple acts that have the biggest impact. As we celebrate the Christ presence of this season, let's also celebrate what this presence really symbolizes, especially the symbol of love. As we look back at the story and the nativity, there are certain characters that are really there to reflect the qualities, spiritual qualities. The shepherds who took care. Shepherds are always known for gathering those who want to be shown the way, always finding those who may become lost. And with the idea of shepherds, we remember the quality of love that is humbleness. Also on this journey were wise men. And with the wise men, the story speaks of them bringing great gifts to the newborn king. But we also know that they were called wise men because they indeed had a place of wisdom. And using our wisdom and our knowledge is indeed a way to express love to others, to be wise and generous. The star is the light of Christ, gives life and light to all things. And we get the opportunity to embrace the lights every night. Mary and Joseph were part of the story, and they symbolize love, unconditional love, caring enough to keep going until they had a place in which to lay their heads. And then the infant Jesus. The fact that the divine presence brought the infant, brought the Christ presence as an infant, tells us that we must be as a child, to love unconditionally with a sense of tenderness and compassion, to become as a child. And I know that you've all had the opportunity of looking in the face of a grandchild, your own child. And there's something that totally melts our hearts. So as we are looking at this idea of love, may we open all of our hearts and reach around to those who may not have it as well as we do, who may be sad, lonely, some who may be forgotten, and those who may be poor in spirit. I know we reached out as a community by writing cards to the elders who are in the community. And there were over 2,000 cards that were delivered from this group and others. That is love in action. So as we think about spiritual intention behind the birth of Christ, let's also consider how we can be more like the Christ consciousness in the way we associate with family and friends, not only during this time of light, but throughout the year. A favorite teacher and writer of mine is Rocco Errico, who studied the Aramaic Bible. And he speaks of the term Messiah as the Christ on a deeper level. And the term of Christ means an anointed mind, a mind that has the heart and mind filled with love and understanding, an enlightened mind. One with an enlightened mind is a Christed individual. So the term Christ, Christos, not only refers to the Messiah, but it also refers to all who recognize and actualize their own divine fellowship through the Christ presence. So today I pray that each of you be filled with the spirit and the love of the season. And as we embrace the idea of love, I take you now to an expanded meaning of love from the Greek term agape. Agape meaning the highest form of love. And agape love can be seen from two sides. It can either mean the love that we as humans have for God. But from the other point, it's the love that God has for us. The love by God is agape love. So let us know that we are embraced by both meanings of love in an agape kind of way. Love for each other and the love that God has for us. So as we continue in this season, let us expand our hearts, our minds, and allow love to become a reality in all we meet in the coming year. Blessings and peace. And now from the Agape Choir is the song, Angels We Have Heard on High.
Angels we have heard on high, sweetly singing o'er the plains and the mountains in reply, echo back their joyous strains. Gloria in excelsis Deo. Gloria in excelsis Deo.
Well, that was beautiful. My reading this morning is from the Science of Mind. The mystic Christ comes from the bosom of the unseen Father, proclaiming the love of God through his own love of humanity. Asleep in the heart of cosmic love, unborn, universal, and potential, the Christ child lay in the great mother's soul, brooding over her unborn child, conceived it in the stillness of her universal nature, imparting to it her own being. Born into the time and experience, unnoticed, unseen, yet alive and aware, the Christ child incarnated in human form, taking the likeness of men and women, yet giving no sign of its presence, waiting with utmost patience and love, the revelation that should disclose itself and proclaim the reign of peace. Many ages passed and vanished in the long yesterdays of time. And still the Christ child waited. Nations appeared and disappeared. Toil, famine, pestilence, and want, hunger, cold, heat, and thirst, war, hatred, blood, and ruin, and still the seed of perfection unrevealed. But the universal wholeness cannot forever subjugated, nor cosmic love of be kept from the human form. That which was given must be revealed. The seed of perfection must burst the shoots of heavenly planting, must break the cords that bind, fanning the human into a blaze divine. And so the long appointed day arrives, a voice from out of the stillness spoke. This is my beloved Son. Let the earth be still in his presence. Let the beast of the field, the birds of the air, and all living creatures be still. Let the host of heaven sing praises, and let the deep cry into deep. Then spoke the child, I am come to bring peace. I am the child of joy, and to all who will I give life. I am formed of happiness. I am come from the eternal stillness. Quietness and confidence are mine. In the heart of the Father I have lived forever. O nations and all people, look unto me and be saved. Behold my face shining as the sun, and my feet shod with righteousness. In my left hand are riches and honor, and in my right hand peace forevermore. All that I am, all that I have, I give. And so it is.
Doug. And how fortuitous it is that I am speaking after the candle for joy has been lit. How does one speak to joy when all they want to do is cry all the time? In the New Thought world, we're taught the power of our word, we're taught the power of our thoughts, and we're taught the power of prayer. And I've heard people say, be careful what you pray for. Don't pray for patience unless you want to have all those experiences that give you the opportunity to practice patience. Well, the year 2020, I decided to choose joy as my focus. And I've shared before that many years ago, I heard Reverend Sam say that if you're not experiencing joy, you're not in alignment with God. And when I heard that, it just spoke to me, and I thought, I want to be in alignment with God so much that I experience that joy. So 2020 was going to be the year that I experienced that kind of joy. Well, let's fast forward through 2020.
January started with 2 of our congregants and dear friends in the hospital fighting for their lives. They won, so now we can experience joy. And then March arrived, and all of us had to close our beloved centers that give us so much joy. We had to shift in how we did things and find ways to connect and still experience that joy. And then fast forwarding some more, in the end of June, I lost my sweet 4-legged companion, Tara, to the Rainbow Bridge. A few weeks later, all of us in this community lost our dear friend, Nancy Ritchie, someone who had brought love and friendship and joy through music to many of us. And then a few weeks later, my son took his own life. In the Unity magazine that came out a few months after that, there was an article that said, "Weep strongly, sing gently." The author wrote this article based on some words of Myrtle Fillmore, where Myrtle was sharing how she had been trying to keep people from knowing what was really going on inside of her. And she realized that that was leading to some physical issues and that she needed to share even when she was sad. The author talks about the importance then of weeping strongly, saying that the spiritual practice of weeping strongly is an invitation to stop pulling things apart, stop swallowing the discomfort, and allow the depth of whatever got broken open by life to emerge. As we emerge from such weeping, the powerful bridge connecting back to life is to sing gently. The author talks about singing gently being speaking those words that need to be spoken for healing, listening to nature, allowing our own song to well up from within. She concludes, "May your weeping be strong so that your singing is music for others, keeping all of us aloft." Well, I thought I had asked for a year of joy, and then I began referring to 2020 as the year of grief. And then I thought, wait a minute, what if when we focus on and ask for joy, we are given all of those opportunities, just like when we pray for patience, we are given those opportunities then to practice joy in all of those unexpected places, even in the midst of grief. The first Sunday of this month, I quoted Ernest Holmes when he talks about what it is that causes suffering for humankind, and that's when we feel separated from each other and from God. And so as I was bemoaning the fact to my therapist that I didn't feel like I was a very good expression or example of joy this year, she suggested, why don't you focus on moments of joy? And as we know, when we focus on something, it grows. And so I began focusing on just mere moments of joy. And those moments of joy came through the love, the outpouring of love from all of you, beginning to feel that connection and unity again with you and family and friends. Moments of joy showed up as flowers bloomed in my garden, as shoots came up out of the ground, as the birds were singing, and through a lot of the deep discussions and connections that I had with so many people over the phone and over Zoom. And on a more global level, I experienced moments of joy as I saw shifts in consciousness as many people in our country took a deeper look at systemic racism, their own role in it, and even inadvertent compliance with these systems as hearts began to crack open. As Holmes said in our reading, the shoots of heavenly planting must break the cords that bind, fanning the human into a blaze divine. Moments of joy began to be a reality as we deepened in our understanding. Due to the pandemic, due to exploring systemic racism, we began to understand our oneness and our unity at a deeper level. More personal moments of joy came with video clips of my youngest grandson starting to walk. 2020, I have learned, is being in alignment with God, and being in alignment with God doesn't mean happy, happy, happy all the time. It means seeking out and looking for those moments of joy. And being in alignment with God is being in alignment with love. as my heart was breaking open, the thought kept running through my head, just keep loving. Keep loving yourself, keep loving others, keep being that place where love shows up in the world. And then allow a song to gently rise. Sometimes I had to rock and comfort myself to that song. This year has been a year to weep strongly and to sing gently. As we fan the flame within us that is the human piece of us, the part of us that weeps strongly, and we allow ourselves the space to do that. And as we continue to fan that inner flame, the God part of us, the love in us, as we fan that into the blaze divine, we experience more and more moments of joy. And as we do that, we bring in the light. And so it is. And so now, I really want to thank all of you for joining us tonight, all the different centers who have come together tonight for another traditional celebration of being together as we bring in the light on Christmas Eve. And I'm grateful to all of you, all of the divine blazes expressing as each and every one of you. Now, to symbolize bringing in the light, we are going to each light our candle. So have your candle and what you're going to light it with ready. Once we're done hearing the song Silent Night and lighting our candle, if you will go to your own settings and press gallery, we can see everybody's candles lit all together. You will all be muted, but please allow your song to sing gently along with Silent Night. And again, thank you so much for joining us. And now I want to welcome Anthony Kumpf and Silent Night as we light our candles together.
Silent night, holy night, all is calm, all is bright, round yon virgin mother and child, holy infant so tender and mild, sleep in heavenly peace, sleep in heavenly peace. Silent night, holy night, shepherds quake at the sight, glory stream from heaven afar, heavenly host sings a hallelujah. Christ the Savior is born. Christ the Savior is born.
Please stay on and we will socialize after a brief little symbol comes up for us. Thank you.
Oh, we are there. Mm-hmm.
Thank you, Bob, and thank you, Ken, for moderating our meeting and our service. Thank you for all your work. Thank you.
That was wonderful. Thank you.
Yes.
Absolutely. It was lovely.
Thank you to all the musicians. They were wonderful and delightful. And Anthony thank you for joining
Amazing.
us through Inspirational Ministries. We appreciate you so much. And all the others who sang of joy.
I even took notes. That's gotta be.
Yay, good.
You guys are wonderful. Edward, thank
got
you.
hold of it? I do. Let's look on the other page.
I don't know if Taylor's still in the house, but Taylor, what a beautiful
that's-
aura you shared with us tonight, baby.
Yes.
Beautiful.
My goodness, yeah. Beautiful.
Yes.
There's Tammy, and there's Jane Ray, and there's Jan Hampton.
Where is this going to be available?
On all of our channels. You'll see it up on all our YouTube channels once it gets done.
Great.
There's Pam. Pam's wearing her Christmas hat.
Kay is narrating for us.
Oh,
She
I'm
likes
showing
to tell-
Mom everybody. There's Lorna.
People,
Hi, Lorna.
you were so
I know
beautiful.
I didn't really get to share my song as a recording, my second song. It was supposed to be Little Drummer Boy, but I do have my guitar here. I don't know if you can hear me all that well, but would anybody like to hear it?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Anthony, it was great. It was great.
Please.
Good.
Okay, let's see. Can you hear my guitar at all?
Yes.
Yes.
Works fine.
All right. So this is what was supposed to come. My hard drive got fried, and I lost all of my recordings, and I was only able to do one other recording. So let's do this one.
Over now.
Come, they told me, a newborn king to see, our finest gifts we bring, to lay before the king. So to honor him, when we come. Little baby, I am a poor boy too. I have no gifts to bring. That's fit to give the king. Shall I play for you on my drum? Very naughty. The ox and lamb kept time. I played my drum in I played my best for Then he smiled at me, me and my drum, me and my drum.
Yay.
Yay.
Thank you. Wow.
Thank you. Sorry that I couldn't get it to you in a recording, but you know, technical difficulties, it seems to be the theme of the season.
Well, you just did, because you just got recorded.
Yes. We receive it in joy.
Yes.
Thank you, Anthony.
Absolutely. Thank you, everyone. We're going to sign off. We're in Brooklyn. Good night, Unity and
Stay
Los.
cool, you guys.
Good night.
Merry
I
Christmas, everyone.
I was born
Happy
in
New
Brooklyn.
Year. Blessings, love, and joy.
Thank you.
Bye-bye. Bye.
Friends, everyone. Thank you, Unity family. God bless
Thanks
you.
for joining us.
Bye. Thank you.
Thank you all.
Merry Christmas. Thank you.
Blessings, Gretchen.
Thank you. Thank you all. This has been wonderful.
Thank you, Ken.
Thank you, Ken.